Hello, welcome back to Science TV. I'm Maria Sass here with the nature professor, Rachel Rose, who specializes in the tundra. Please tell us, what is the tundra?
The tundra is an ecosystem or community in the North Pole and several other continents, as demonstrated behind us.
That's beautiful! Oh yes, indeed it is. Next question, what's the weather like in the tundra?
Well, it isn't the ideal place to live or survive. It averages the temperatures of negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter, 37 and 54 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer, and there isn't much rainfall.
Wow, that's cold! I definitely don't want to live there. What about you? Would you ever consider living in the tundra?
Never. I absolutely hate the cold.
Let's talk about plants. What grows in the tundra and how do they survive?
Actually, the tundra has several plants that survive year after year.
Amazing! Please explain. I would love to know more.
Well, for example, there's the Arctic poppy that survives by facing the sun and has little black hairs. It is also heliotropic, so it grows towards the sun and on rocks to absorb the water from them.
Fascinating. I've always wondered how plants survive in the tundra. Any other plants that are worth mentioning?
There's more plants like the Arctic moss, caribou moss, Arctic willow, Labrador tea, and cotton grass. There's only a few plants that survive in the tundra.
Aren't those all producers, meaning they make their own food and are the largest part of the food chain? So how come there are a lot of plants?
The soil is very thin, and underneath the soil is a thick layer called permafrost that keeps roots from taking place.
How about different types of animals? How do they survive?
There are several different animals that are common in the tundra. There's a musk ox, snowshoe hare, Arctic hare, polar bear, Arctic fox, reindeer, ermine or stoat, harlequin duck, tundra swan, Alaskan tundran wolf, and the snowy owl.
I didn't realize that many animals could survive in the tundra and adapt to surviving like that. Please give us an example of how some of them survive.
We'll take the ermine or stoat. For example, ermines are carnivores and mostly hunt at night in order to avoid predators. An ermine is an example of a consumer in the food chain.
Aren't consumers living things that can't produce their own food, so they have to eat other living things in order to provide energy?
Yeah, exactly.
How about decomposers? We've covered consumers and producers. Let's talk about decomposers and how they affect the ecosystem.
Some examples of decomposers are mosses and lichen. In fact, lichen is a symbiotic relationship between algae and fungus. In fact, there's reindeer lichen that grows in the alpine tundra.
Ew! That's interesting. Now let's talk about biotic and abiotic factors. We've already talked about plants and animals, which are biotic factors since they're living things. Now let's discuss abiotic factors. Do you have an example of non-living things in the environment?
Yes, there are many abiotic things that impact the tundra that aren't living, like the short summer days, the very cold temperature, strong winds, the permafrost layer that we talked about earlier, and there's little to no rainfall.
That sounds crazy. I'd hate to live there considering how cold it is. I also heard the sun barely shines. Is that true?
Actually, in the summer, the sun shines 24 hours a day for as long as 2 to 85 continuous days.
What about the winter? How long does the sun stay up then?
The sun stays down 24 hours a day for about 67 continuous days.
Oh, I never knew that. I know that the tundra is in several continents. I just don't know which ones. What continents are the tundra located in?
You're right. The tundra is in a few different continents. For instance, North America, Asia, Europe, and South America. To be more specific, Norway, Greenland, Russia, and Canada are affected by the tundra.
Anywhere else?
Well, there are also tundras on top of mountains around the world.
I never knew that either. I know about global warming. Is that an issue in the tundra? Is there anything else that's harming the tundra?
Yes, actually the permafrost layer is melting due to global warming. Oil spills are killing animals while we are polluting air and water.
So unfortunate. What about the food chain is in the tundra?
Well, predators like owls, foxes, polar bears, and wolves feed off of herbivores like caribou, lemming, and hares.
Well, that's it for today. Thank you for coming. I'll see you guys next time on Science TV.